But I'll try, growing up. Oh yeah, we got some good ones. Well, as maybe you know or don't know, I was born in Laie, and when I was very little, my Auntie Walker, at that time, she stayed with us, and she was like, so that's your older sister. I said, okay, that's our older sister. So we grew up, and then she left. And then Big John, my older brother, Auntie Maria came to visit, and took Big John just to go back to the States. This when they were living down in Wilmington, down in LA. And all of a sudden, John called back for the summertime and said, "Hey, Dad, Mom, I want to go back home." So at that time, John had polio, and he was being taken at the Shriners Hospital. So my dad asked him, "Is there a Shriners Hospital in LA?" I said, "Yeah, there's one in downtown." So my dad goes, "Okay, we're going to LA." My mom is a Lofanga. She went crazy. Goes, "What? We're all going to LA." Okay, me and Frank go first. So we went to the airport, LA airport, flew in, we waited. They forgot to pick us up. So I'm sitting out there freezing. This was like in the winter time around December. I'm freezing. And if you grew up in Laie or in Hawaii, there's no overcast, no such thing. I'm sitting there thinking, "Dad, how come it's still cloudy?" And I said, "I don't know, this is overcast or whatever." So finally, guess who picks us up? Uncle Walapa. So then my dad had a few words, said, "Enough once, sorry, blah, blah." So we went, so I stayed, and then my dad went back, got the rest of the family, and they all came. And that's where we grew up at, on the state side, down in the Carson, Wilmington area. And that's where we left Laie at that time. So growing up with my aunties or my grandmothers was Gauula, Auntie Valila, and Auntie Ruta. Those three, man, wherever they go, they all went together. And I had the opportunity to be with my mom. But they always talk, when they talk about their three, there's always that fourth person they always talk about. So when long went, when I was talking about the love of those sisters, the same thing that I saw. Because we had Mika and Malingi, they would come and stay at the house. For some reason, our house was the spot, because we were all in the garage, the boys, and Jay was the only one stayed inside. He was a little sick when he was little, so Grandma Gauula said, "You stay inside." And I used to sleep on the floor between Malingi and Mika. I never slept. Those guys snore so bad. And I don't know, you guys, Frank might know as he got a little, when he was born. But those guys snore bad. But they would get up, man, like nothing happened, and we're going on. But one of the things I know also that Lomo brought up about the piano. Grandma Ruta, oh man, beautiful. Played the piano also. And then you had Maola and my little brother Jay. They were taught to play the piano. Yeah. Being the guy that liked to be outside, running around the backyard and just down the street, I used to look in and watch them doing practice. And like Lomo said about Grandma, man, same thing with Ruta. Keep the beat, that all of a sudden you're off, back! And one time I sat outside and said, I ain't going. So now you know all the musicians is Jay, and they played everything because of Grandma Ruta.
You and I run away.
Yeah, me and said, okay, to the park. I used to see it all the time, man. Back. And then even when we had a family show, and even dancing. You got back. I'm going out. So I just did, I was the manual labor. Whatever they got to move, I'll move that and just go sit there and watch it. And after Jay and my sisters and everybody would dance, then I'm the cleaner guy. So, but I loved my grandmother. She would be home with us, and my mom and dad, they had to work. So my grandmother, everything that we learned was because of her. And mostly, especially in the church, regardless of what we did or, we felt like, we're not supposed to do what we're supposed to do. Grandma, besides spanking us. They always come back with a big love, big hug, say, hey, don't do it again. But they always know that we might do it again, but they're always there to support us and help us out. So that was Grandma. But that same down the line with Grandma Gauula and Ruta, it was always there. And another thing, when I got married, me and Selena got married, and then, Selena's dad, and Wayne Willis, he's related to Wayne and Willie Nomaya, they all came to the house. And when Selena, she came down with me from the Bay Area where we got married, Grandma Ruta was still alive. So we, did a little introduction and, the little Fasi and more stuff. And after that was done, Grandma Ruta looked at Nelsoni, and that's my wife's father. I remember you when you was a little kid in Samiatu. And, Dad was, yeah, I'm one of the older sisters, Ruta. And he goes, wow, I know Romo and all them, Auntie May school. Well, my grandmother and her grandmother, Selena, Grandma Gauula, it was in her wedding. She was the maid of honor. Is that what they call it? Okay, yeah. Well, her and her grandmother are best of friends way back then. And Grandma Ruta told us those guys used to go together, do all this stuff together since Samiatu. Back at that time when Samiatu in the border. Okay. Anything else? Oh, any another? I was playing Pop Warner when I was a little kid. So, I played little sports and stuff like that. So, I was in junior high, and we had a Carson team that was one of the top teams in California, Southern California. We played against Venice, and that was one of the top teams also in California. So we went to play. A lot of Samoan kids, we all grew up together. We all played together. Grandma Gauula and Grandma Ruta came to the game. So as the game went on, got a little heated, the fight started. It was a night game. So they turned the lights off and everybody separated. They turned the lights back on and then we come back on field fighting. And one of the fathers, Rowan's dad, Chukwuivao, he was out there fighting with the coaches. And it so happens I have to look and I come back and my grandmother Gauula, she was crying. And I look at Grandma Ruta, she was going, Shekui! Grandma Ruta was going to punch him. She was laughing, getting up, doing all this stuff. And my grandma, she's crying. She's crying, okay. And my brother Big John, and we're all looking at, man, Grandma Ruta, man. She said she. And I go, man, and some of the people, the kids that I play with, the parents go, Frank, you know who they are? They came with Big John, and he said, yeah, that's my grandma. But those are just some of the things, and Grandma Ruta, she was always there for all of us. Because we all came and we all lived together. And like Lama was saying, there was no difference. Everybody was brothers and sisters. And then I remember Uncle Walapa, when they first came, they stayed with us. With Auntie Allah. I remember when Olivia and Malila were little kids, Auntie would say, hey, go get a diaper. I used to run around, get diapers for them.
Oh, thanks.
My bad. I used to give it to here, Auntie. Oh, my bad at that time. Here's the claw. They didn't have no diapers back then. Yeah, but, that's all it was. And, with Uncle Walapa, as some of the aunties talked about earlier, he loved to fight. Well, he boxed when I was growing up. It's just because I was playing sports. He goes, Frank, let's go and train you. I go, okay, Uncle, I'll go with you. And his backyard, they used to live right by Dolphin Park in Carson. In that neighborhood, it was called Cabbage Patch. And then they used to live right there, so I used to go over there and hang out just that one day. Well, I went there. So Uncle, we did some work, but then Uncle had to start training me. He had a backyard built up. He had all boxing stuff set up, for training in the back. So he had me back there. He was training me, and I was about maybe 10 years old. Man, he had me working so hard, man. I had to go. Someone called Big John. After a while, Uncle said, come fight me. And then I go, wait. I'm glad to do something. What about let me go see Big John? But that's how it was with us. But with my mom being the oldest, and they would all come together. There's nothing but love with them. We've been back from the house for the food. You see them crying, and then you see them hugging each other, and then you see them crying, and then you see them hugging each other. But I'm very thankful that we're able to get together here, especially to hear some stories. But I really appreciate it, man. And also the aunties and also those who are still here with us and talk about it. But thank you, Auntie Maria, for coming us and starting Big John to come in. That's why we all came to the States. I think I would like it better than here with the beautiful beach. I gotta take me down to the beach. But I love you guys very much, and hopefully you guys are enjoying yourselves, and that we get a little something before you guys all go home safe. And maybe next time, it's cool here with us, but just making sure everybody's all on one page. We could do it again. I know there's a lot more family out there. And I know a lot of them want to come, like my cousins, my wife's kids, they have 9 of them. And I think there's 4 left, 5 of them passed away. And so they would like to come, but because of with Anna passing, it took a few weeks. So that was really kind of tough on their travel. So, but they wanted to come, and just something real quick. As you can see all these names up here, because I used to do Grandma Gauula's genealogy. She used to say, Frank, you write good, so I'm going to give him names. So, we did it to our genealogy, my grandma. I like that. Okay. That's why I'm going to remember my dad. Then my wife, Tialavea, I go, Grandma, what's going on here? Where's the Tialavea? And they explained the whole thing, why he took Tialavea. Okay, now explaining to my cousins, because they thought there was Tialaveas, and every Tialavea they saw, that's my cousin. In the ways they are, but you got to find out why. I said, that's not your real last name. I like Paula. They go, what? And then I explained that Grandma told me to take Grandma's side to Tialavea. And they were like, oh, so we can change our names intermittently and all that. Do whatever you want. But it was very funny with those names, and even with the Sioux and the Tupilahaki name coming up, and I go, what? You guys confusing me, But Grandma, hey, just write it down. But you'll see some of this stuff, and it's very interesting, and that's why I'm glad Mama's here, and also the aunties that could make it. So myself and also the younger generation could understand and also hear some of these stories that we have to say about our parents who are gone, and for us. So thank you very much. The park will sign me up. Where do you get Frank from? So as it started, and then they told me that's my brother's name is Frank. So I never got to meet Uncle Pusila, and I never got to meet his oldest boy. He was named Frank too, and he passed away. Every time I went to Hawaii, and some of the family reminded me they're living in town. So that's where my name comes. Just in case. Trying to Frank, okay.